It's been a busy few days of cup games across Europe, and that continues this weekend as we enter into the fourth round of the FA Cup in England. It's highlighted by Manchester City traveling to Tottenham. Could Pep Guardiola get his first ever win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. I'm Andrew Passaro. He's Ani Sridhar. You can follow us at Andrew Passaro at Ani323 at the Plus Money Pod. It's been a fun. There's games every day. There's games going every day. Shout out Girona. We'll talk about them before the end of the day. They absolutely crushed it for me yesterday, on top of La Liga, and they are back in La Liga this weekend. Atletico Madrid. We are both sweating out Atletico Madrid as we record this podcast. Ani, I assume you have a Chelsea bet as they play Aston Villa, so
Yeah,
I will let you kick things off.
yeah, they're coming off a pretty convincing victory earlier in the week in the Carabao Cup semifinals. They will play in the finals against Liverpool. I'm already gonna place my 0-0 future bet for that one because that's pretty much all Chelsea and Liverpool play to in cup finals. But I've got the both teams to score and over 2.5 at -107. Chelsea is going to be a little tired legs. Their back line is horrendous. If you just play a ball over Thiago Silva's head, you're probably going to score against this Chelsea team. Watkins has the pace and the finishing ability to beat Thiago Silva. They're still recovering injury-wise. You know, we've got Ben Chilwell's back. Colwell's been playing center back. Disasi, I just no words about Disasi. He's hot or cold. He's either scoring goals or letting them in. So, I think Villa can definitely score here. I think Chelsea's offense is also clicking at the same time, though, which is why I like the both teams to score. And a bet that I'm kind of disappointing, I'm betting, but I think I have to, is Villa draw no bet at +140. Like I said, Chelsea just played a couple days ago. They don't really have the healthy bodies to rotate their lineup well. So I think Villa can actually take this one, or maybe even send it to extra time at Stamford Bridge.
I'm not betting this game, but you hit everything that I initially wrote down and was like, why am I betting this? Both of these, I hate betting both of these teams right now. Um, Cole Palmer score or assist +140, I think
Great
is
value.
is
Yeah.
a great value for the main man at Chelsea, especially if Chelsea get a penalty.
Yep.
Um, and if you are taking Villa, draw no bet. Just be wary that Aston Villa's road form it's awful, but
So bad.
home teams don't seem to win this matchup. I don't think a home team has won since Chelsea won at home in 2021 between Chelsea and Aston Villa. So do with that information what you will. I will not be touching that game, but I am going to go to Tottenham Man City. It's a massive, massive game. The two
Yeah.
biggest names on the team sheet will not be playing. Heung-min Son still off at the Asian Championships, and Erling Haaland not expected back as he's still recovering from injury. I would expect we'll get a Kevin De Bruyne start here, his first start in quite a while. I mentioned it off the rip. Pep has never won at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and they drew earlier in the season a crazy 3-3 draw at the Etihad. The number here, though, and I look, Tottenham have done well without Son. They've scored goals. They went to Old Trafford, got that 2-2 result. They've had more time to kind of get Timo Werner acclimated. Man City have been clicking. I'm not going to deny that. But if you're going to offer me Tottenham, a good Tottenham team to qualify at +330, I might not put a full unit on it, but I'm gonna take that.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't hate it at all. Yeah, like you said, their offense has been clicking, and on the similar line there, I like the over 3.5. We already saw them play to a crazy 3-3 game, and we saw what Kevin De Bruyne's impact has on this team. As soon as he came on off the bench in their last game, immediately scored two goals. One was just a crazy good shot, and then the pass he had for the game was just unbelievable. I mean, when he's healthy, he's the best midfielder in the world, and that's not even an exaggeration. So I think the over 3.5 is firmly in play here.
yeah, I also have a little parlay of over 10.5 corners and 23 or more shots at +114. I don't know if this one turns into a crazy shootout or some kind of like KG 1-1 affair, which is why I didn't stick goals into this. There's been a lot of corners in these two teams' matchups head to head. I know 10.5 is a lot there for a parlay, but I do kind of like it.
Tottenham could be getting Madison back too.
Yes, he's back in full training, which is
So
that
that's
would help
massive.
the over. That would help.
Yeah.
What's the over at number wise? Do you have in front of
Over
you?
3.5 plus 100.
That's again for me. That's a steep number for 3.5 goals. I don't love taking that. I'm gonna jump to Saturday. I have two more FA Cup plays that I'll put out for you, and then I'll let Ani fill out some FA Cup picks here. Saturday parlay, plus 115. Brighton to win at Sheffield and Leicester to win at Birmingham. Leicester are walking the championship right now. They are coming right back up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they try to put a little FA Cup run unless they run into a big dog, but I like both of them. And then Sunday morning, it's a Midlands derby. I think it's like a Black Country derby. West Brom taking on Wolves.
West
These,
Wolves, yeah,
yeah,
Wolves.
yeah, these teams haven't played in quite a long time. Love betting these FA Cup rivalry games. Wolves team total over 1.5 is plus 100. So I do like that. They are missing one of their key strikers who's off at the Asian Cup, but you have Neto back. They played a front three of Neto, Sarabia, and Cunha in that last match. I think those three guys can score 2 goals against a championship side in West Brom. Ani, what else do you like from the FA Cup this weekend?
Yeah, I only have one more FA Cup parlay, and then I actually have two plays from the Bundesliga that I've got for the weekend. My FA Cup is a money line parlay. Everton taking on Luton, a money line. Everton win, and I also have Leicester in that ticket. So Leicester and Everton money line parlay plus 104. I think that's a great value. Everton at home. If they were on the road at Luton, I'd be a little bit more worried. But now since they're at home, I think they cruise here to a victory against a team that's probably going to get relegated this season. And then my two Bundesliga picks, I've got Augsburg plus 1.5 at home against Bayern Munich at minus 106. Bayern have just not been impressive this season at all. Eric Dyer made his debut in the midweek here, but they struggled against Union Berlin to even score a goal. They scampered to a victory. They're at home. I think Augsburg can keep this close and not lose by more than yeah, 1 goal here. And then I've got Leverkusen over 2.5 team total at minus 111.
Yeah, I have Leverkusen in my Saturday all day parlay, which is I still think I need something else for it, but it's right now it's only a plus 1. Real Madrid at Las Palmas, Juventus versus Empoli, and Leverkusen versus Gladbach. All teams money line. Maybe stick an NBA winner at the end of that to have a nice little cash up, but that's a plus 120. I'm going to Spain. I've been finding a lot of value in Spain of late. I talked about Girona. I had a massive midweek day for Girona in the middle of the week.
Yeah,
I
same.
had over 2.5 in that game. I had over 3.5 in that game. I had Girona team total. I had first half over 1.5, and um I had Girona money line, and I went 4-1 because Girona lost the game 3-2. They're playing Celta Vigo on the road. Celta Vigo not doing great in La Liga. Girona obviously on top, trying to keep pace, trying to finish top four. They're plus 150 money line. I'm going to take that. The over 3.5 is plus 200. That's hitting 6 out of the last 10 matches for Girona, and their team total over 1.5 is plus 125, which is hitting 8 of their last 10 games. You can't give me those kind of numbers on Girona without me trying to break off a piece of something of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it till right now when I mentioned that I played the first half over earlier in the week. I think if the first half over 1.5 is a plus number, I think you play that too. Girona have been scoring hard and fast, or they've been conceding hard and fast. They were up 3-1 in 20 minutes last Saturday against Sevilla with a
Yeah, I
player
mean,
for Girona scoring a hat trick.
it's because
Like,
you didn't get it in the midweek because they played rotated their lineup. So like guys
yeah,
like Dobovic came on in the second half and they scored like two immediately. It helped they got the red card. But if their main guys start, then I don't hate that over first half over either. It's great value.
another team I love betting of late, and they're also top four in La Liga. They
Bilbao.
knocked off Barcelona yesterday.
Yeah.
Athletic Bilbao are taking on Cadiz. Um, Bilbao and over 1.5 plus 115. Hitting 8 of their last 10 matches. They were on like a 13 game unbeaten run until they lost last weekend
I
or the
love
weekend
that.
before. Um, the last four matchups head to head, this is also hit. So I don't, and there's like a couple like 4-0 spankings by Bilbao on that run. So I don't hate a sprinkle of Bilbao and over 2.5 at plus 195. Bilbao's they're a lot of fun. Inaki Williams came back from AFCON, literally
Scored
spent the
immediately.
whole day traveling and scored. His younger brother had a goal and assist. Nico's a very, very good player. Bilbao's a fun team to watch, fun team to bet on. And I may be considering I'm gonna bet on them. I'm not giving it out. But if Real Sociedad do the business this weekend,
I
I
can't. I
might
think they're. I think they're like similar to Aston Villa for me. Even though I'm betting Aston Villa, they're like I've kind of
yeah.
lost faith in them, and after like riding them hot, like it's
Yep, I'm
just
not. So I'm not giving out a pick, but I'm monitoring it. There's good
yeah.
value there. I'm not gonna give it out on the podcast, but I keep having this conversation with friend of the pod, Nick Diani. Are Sociedad back or not? So, uh, depending what happens this weekend, I might be prepared to declare them back. We'll see. They will. They're still missing key pieces at AFCON and the Asia Cup, but both of those tournaments march on. We've got plenty to get ready for coming down the stretch here. We've got midweek next week, Liverpool Chelsea on Wednesday.
Tuesday
Uh,
big slate. I think we
yeah,
got like
Tuesday,
4 or 5 games on
five games
Tuesday.
on five
Yeah.
games on Tuesday, and I think there's a couple, 2 or 3 on
Is this a
Wednesday. Yeah,
technically a double game week or is it just 2 game weeks just in the same weekend?
I think it's a double game week
Double
because I
game
think
week.
we're gonna do games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
And
and
then
then it
Saturday, Sunday.
yeah, and Liverpool Arsenal on the weekend.
Two tough ones for Liverpool coming up.
Yeah, it helps that the Chelsea match is at home. Um, and honestly, the fact that we went to the Emirates and got a win there a couple weeks ago gives me a lot of confidence. But
Would have helped more if Egypt got knocked out of the AFCON.
well, they're not out yet, but Salah's not available anyways. So
Right.
I don't know. We're gonna
But
get
the
Trent
longer
back.
they stay in
Yeah,
it, the more likelihood that Salah goes back to the
I
AFCON.
I don't having watched a lot of their games, I think they're gonna need a miracle. Um, it does. I will say, uh, the way Darwin Nunez, Diogo Jota, Luis Diaz, and Gakpo
They've been
linking
playing
up
really
together,
well. I will say that.
playing
Yeah.
very well. You're
Yeah.
going to add Szoboszlai's coming back from a hamstring. Andy Robertson made the bench last game. Trent expected back this weekend. Uh Vibes are high. Vibes are very high. I'm feeling confident. We shall see. That'll wrap it up from us for the rest of our picks, or for more picks, or if you want our takes on picks, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Andrew Passaro, at Ani323, at the Plus Money Pod. Subscribe on YouTube. We'll catch you guys next week. Big one coming up.